Hello, and welcome to the Empowerography Podcast. This is a platform created for women's voices to be heard and a place to share their stories, journeys, and successes with the world for the purpose of helping other women who might be on similar journeys. We are empowering women one episode at a time. I'm your host, Brad Walsh, so kick back, grab one of your favorite beverages, and enjoy the stories. What if I told you the only thing standing between you and your next big opportunity is your voice? This isn't just another program. Empower Your Message is your ticket to becoming the podcast guest everyone wants. You'll learn how to craft a pitch that gets a hell yes, show up with unshakable confidence, and drop truth bombs that leave hosts and audiences wanting more. No more playing small. No more waiting for permission. It's your time to be heard. Loud, clear, and unforgettable. Visit the link in the show notes to sign up, and let's make your voice impossible to ignore. The mic is waiting. Are you ready? Hello there, Brad Walsh here, your host of the Empowerography Podcast, a platform that was created to help elevate and amplify the voices of women through sharing their stories. Today, my guest is Sarah Dawkins. Sarah is a holistic health and healing coach, a keynote speaker, an author, and a podcast host. Welcome, Sarah. How are you doing today?
Thank you, Brad. It's great to be with you. I'm good, thank you. And you?
I am very well, thank you. And I'm very excited to finally have you here. I know we've been trying to get this done for quite a while. So It's nice that we are finally here together and we can share about all the beautiful light you put out into the world through the work you do, your story, your journey. I'm excited to jump in. So with that being said, let's do just that. I would love to know, and I want to start by asking, what inspired you, or what was the catalyst moment that led you to doing work as and becoming a holistic health and healing coach? Was there maybe some personal health struggles for you? And how did your personal journey shape your approach to holistic health and healing?
So my own journey was, I was raised in the medical model and my mum was a nurse. So all I knew was doctors, hospitals, pills. And I followed in my mum's footsteps, trained as a nurse, and I qualified in 2001. We moved to America in 2004 to see what working and living abroad was all about. And literally the following year, 2005, so I'd only been qualified 4 years, one of my nurse colleagues questioned my use of pharmaceuticals at home. And I was like, this was my whole world. This was my core belief that this was what we needed. So being open-minded, I went on the internet thinking, why would she say that? What else is there? What any possibility? So I started reading around how the power of the mind and the body working together. I started tweaking my diet and lifestyle. And within the first month, I healed acid reflux, psoriasis, and eczema. So now I'm seeing tangible results, like mind-blowing. This is totally radically new to me because it's things I never knew before. And so I started to look further and more research and started healing some chronic conditions like candida, chronic pain, PTSD, bulimia nervosa. And my life was moving on. And then we moved back to the UK. I went and worked back in the hospital. So on the one hand, I'm living this more natural, healthy life at home. But then in work, I'm giving out pharmaceuticals and I was a critical care nurse. So I dealt with a lot of surgical patients. And so I'm living this like double life.
Dual life, yeah.
And I got so conflicted that I actually spiraled into a deep, dark depression and had suicidal thoughts because I just didn't know who I was, what I was doing, what is going on. I'm living these two separate worlds. And during that time, my thyroid stopped working and I burned out my adrenal glands because of the stress. And my doctor wanted to medicate me. And with the healing that I'd done already, I said, no, I don't want pills. I've done the pills route. And actually, it made me feel like a zombie. So I don't want to go that route again. I've done all this healing. I'm sure I can heal myself. I don't know how. I absolutely can't think straight. But I knew I could heal myself. And I did. I went on to heal myself.
Unbelievable.
It was crazy. But it took me a while. But I did. I went on and healed all of that.
That is incredible. And see, I love speaking with people like yourself who step into this natural way of healing, more Eastern medicine as opposed to Western medicine, because there are so many people out there who have no fucking clue that this is available to them.
And I was one of those.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
So when I get the chance and opportunity to speak to people like you, I want to scream it from the mountaintops because people deserve to know that this is an option. You don't have to rely on Western medicine and all the pharmaceuticals, all the drugs, because I believe they're just there to keep you sicker. That, yep, take this. And then there's a side effect with that. Oh, we've got a pill for that side effect. Oh, we've got a pill for that side. And it just keeps going and going. It's cyclical and it's not good. We need Western medicine, I believe, for certain things. Absolutely.
Trauma,
But I think,
emergencies, absolutely, it's got a place.
broken bones, things like
Yes,
that.
yes.
Yes, absolutely. Surgeries that are necessary. But if people just knew what's available to them, it would be, I think this world would be such a different place. I really do. I think there would be less sick people. And now we're seeing more and more people getting sick. More people. I don't think I've ever heard of so many people getting cancer as I have in this last few years.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yes,
It's absolutely crazy.
it is.
So I love that you're doing this work, and I think it's so important to share it. So thank you for sharing your story. Now, what would you say then was your biggest takeaway or most valuable lesson from your personal journey?
I'm never too old to change. Neither is anybody else, because I was 41 when we went to America. So 42 when I was challenged and changed my belief. So I changed a core belief that I need doctors and medicine to my body heals itself. So you're never too old to change your belief or even look at your belief. Is it yours?
Yeah.
More often than not, it's our parents, our caregivers, our schools, somebody else has
Yeah.
installed into our brain. And, whilst, yes, there's a big picture, you don't have to look at the big picture all at once. You can just pick one little thing. So I started, the first thing I did was cut out wheat and dairy, and that's all I did to start off with.
Yeah.
And you could just cut out whatever one thing, or you could increase your exercise, go for a walk 10 minutes every day. It's about just choosing one thing that you'll do.
Yeah.
And I read a quote recently and I really love it. It goes like, a little bit of something is better than a lot of nothing.
Yes.
And
I love that.
So do something that you know you will do and just do a little bit of it. So every time you make a tweak and do something that's beneficial to either your mind or your body, the other responds, because they're so inextricably linked. So the small things that you do will have big impacts.
Yeah. Well, it's, as you said, it's something as simple as getting outside into nature and go for a walk. Now, that sounds incredibly simple, but you always hear the pushback or the excuse, I don't have time, I'm so busy. And that also speaks to this hustle culture bullshit that we have been indoctrinated into, that you need to keep going, you need to keep pushing, you need to keep doing. No, stop with the bullshit. You don't need that. 10 minutes out of your day, that's nothing. I don't care who you are. I don't care how busy you are. Every single person has 10 minutes in their day that you can get outside and go for a walk and just take in the fresh air, take in nature. Walking is, in my opinion anyways, walking is just as good as jogging. I mean, jogging's hard on your knees, it's hard on your shins, it's all of that, right?
Yes.
Walking is even better, as you say, even better for you. Sarah, what was then, you were a nurse, so what was the catalyst for you saying, okay, right, enough, I'm done with this, I can't do this profession anymore?
It was that depression that I went through.
Yeah.
As I was coming out the other end of it, I realized I went through that because I was no longer in alignment. I went into nursing because I wanted to help people in their vulnerable state. But I realized in nursing, I am keeping them in that sick role, in that model with pharmaceuticals and surgery. And that depression showed me that. But that led me to a whole authenticity issue. Like, if I'm not Sarah the nurse, who the hell am I?
Yeah.
And that took me 2 years because I kept dipping in and having a bit of fear show up. I'm like, oh no, I'll just stay a nurse. So I stepped out of the hospital and became an entrepreneur. And I meditated on that as part of my healing that depression. I didn't just want to be any entrepreneur. I wanted to be an award-winning, and I won 2 awards for my work.
Congratulations.
So I fulfilled that. Thank you. I fulfilled that meditation that I'd seen in my future. But I still was a nurse. Even though I wasn't in the hospital, I was doing some training, some medical legal work, some DNA tests. So I was away from giving out the pills, but I still had to be a registered nurse to do that work. So whilst it was a sidestep, it felt better doing that work. There was still a bit of conflict because I still had to every year sign the register and say, yes, I uphold the nursing standard. And I didn't believe in sending people straight into hospital or to the doctor and taking pills. Quieten symptoms. We need to dip in and listen to those symptoms.
Yeah.
So I then went and trained as a coach and then surrendered my license. and gave up nursing altogether. And I had to close that business down, and I set up my second business, which is my coaching business. So I feel fully aligned now. I'm helping people to help themselves rather than helping them to stay sick in the medical model.
It's funny, isn't it, how being out of alignment affects us in our bodies and the health issues that causes, the dis-ease in our bodies that causes. And people don't realize that a lot of that dis-ease comes from emotional shit that's trapped in our body.
Absolutely. It's
crazy. And again, this is exactly why I love having these conversations, to help educate people, because I think everybody deserves to know all of these things and share the information as willingly and as freely as we possibly can to help educate people. So thank you again for that.
Okay.
Now, coming from traditional Western medicine, being a nurse, what is the biggest piece of advice you would give someone who feels unheard or dismissed by the healthcare system?
That's challenging, because for me, it's a case of, what am I getting from the healthcare system? When I say healthcare system, I'm looking at the medical model, doctors, nurses, pills.
Yeah.
What is it that I'm getting from that? And why am I going? Because a lot of people want a diagnosis because they've got a whole range of symptoms they don't understand, and they want a diagnosis. And then often they want a pill to go with that diagnosis. But when we get a diagnosis from a doctor, think of it like a program. It's a computer program. It's now installed into my brain. I've got this diagnosis. And along with that diagnosis comes all this range of beliefs. I'm going to be sick for life. I'm going to have pain. I'm going to have to take all these pills. So it's like this whole massive program, plus all the beliefs and all the periphery extra that's installed. And then we align with that, and then we become the person we become the disease, the disorder, the diagnosis that I'm Sarah, I'm depressed.
Yeah.
I'm Sally, and I've got fibromyalgia. And we align with that. And the doctors told us we can't ever heal that. So our beliefs around it are, I'm going to be sick for the rest of my life. So for those that are in that medical system looking for that diagnosis, ask yourself, what are you going to get from that diagnosis versus looking at the symptoms you've got, and what is your body trying to say to you? Because our symptoms are our messages. And when we go to the doctor, we get a pill to quieten those symptoms, saying, go away.
Yeah.
And so our body expresses a different way through a different symptom. And then we'll get another pill, and the body will express a different way. So in quietening the symptoms, our body will find different ways to express its needs, to express its message to us. So really, what are your expectations around the medical model, around the doctors, versus can you just sit and be with that symptom and ask yourself, and for some it's quite woo and crazy and out there sounding, but for others, ask yourself, because your subconscious, your higher self knows all the answers. What are you trying to say to me? What do I need to do? How can I support you? And you will have the answers. It might come as words or phrases. It might be a picture in your mind. There might be nothing, but then the following day you might see a billboard with something on it, or somebody might say something, or there might be words aligning a song. And you go, wow, actually, just gone goose pimple. That really is what my body's trying to say. And then we can support our body, because for all those things like fibromyalgia and ME and chronic pain, the doctor's like, you can't heal that. Autoimmune, you can't heal that. You're going to be on pills for the rest of your life. You can heal that. And I know of people who have healed all of that. And I've healed 3 autoimmunes. So don't ever let your doctor tell you can't heal.
Yeah. It's also, I think it's important to mention that you have to have the self-awareness to see the signs when they come, right? You're asking for these signs. First of all, it's getting past, for some people, the woo, as you put it.
Yes.
A lot of people have a hard time with that and accepting that. But if you can get past that piece of it, then it's about the self-awareness around paying attention to see the signs when they come. That is probably the biggest piece, is having the self-awareness to realize, wait a minute, that is a sign for me, and trusting your intuition, trusting your gut, which is huge. Absolutely. So thank you for sharing that. What are some common misconceptions people have about holistic health, and how do you address those?
I think people often go looking for holistic health in inverted commas as outside the medical model, sort of anything outside the medical model. A lot of people don't know what's out there, what's available to them. And of the people that do know what's available to them, they tend to go and try one therapy, then another therapy, looking in the external for something to heal them through that holistic health in air quotes. Whereas for me, I use holistic health as dealing with the physical, the mental, the emotional, and the spiritual aspects of health, because we are holistic. We are a mind and a body and bones and systems and nerves and muscles. And we have to treat all of ourselves as one. We can't pull out, like they do in hospital, a heart with a cardiologist, the mind with a mental health. And yet we do in the medical model. We separate all of our body out and we're not holistic. But every part of us interacts with other parts of us. So we have to treat ourselves holistically. So anybody looking for holistic health, the answer's inside you. The therapies that are outside will help support you. But ultimately, it's your body that heals you. Nobody else can heal you. You have to come back inside and deal with your physical, your mental, your emotional, and spiritual health.
Absolutely. I love that. So important. And again, it's about leaning into trusting your intuition. And like you said, looking at yourself as one whole being. And so you just mentioned, and we'll talk about this, a great segue, the mind-body connection, which is absolutely integral to holistic health, as you just mentioned, mind, body, spirit. In what ways do you address and foster the mind-body connection in the work you do?
When I'm working with clients, I literally use compassionate conversation. Mm-hmm. So I just ask them to tell their whole life story. And then I ask them to go back into situations and look at them from a different perspective, because we hold on to what happened to us as a child that we were. So the feelings and the emotions we've got are from the child us rather than the adult us. So when I'm talking to clients, I help them to see how their thought processes are holding the emotions in their bodies. And if we can flip the thought processes to become an adult protector rather than the child that's within, it helps them to put a whole different perspective on what happened. And we can never go back and change what happened, because what happened, but we can look at it through different eyes. We can change our perspective of it. And in doing so, it helps people on their healing journey.
Love it. All we have is the present moment now.
Absolutely.
You can't go back and fix. The past is done. It's gone. Yeah. I think this is part of the problem with a lot of things in the world today when we speak about the past, is that people are so stuck in that past, whether it's childhood trauma, whether it's different problems around the world. You cannot change what happened, but what you can do is take the lessons from what has happened in the past, move forward with them, and learn to do better in the now, in the present moment, because the future is not even here yet either. And that's another thing that we get stuck in, and anxiety and all of these things is worrying about what's going to happen. We're not even there. So stop worrying about it. All you have is right now in the present moment. Nobody's promised tomorrow. You don't know that you're going to be alive tomorrow. Nobody knows that. So live for now, live in the present, work on yourself, heal yourself, do the things that you need to do to heal now. And don't worry about the past. Don't worry about the future. Live in the now. And I think this is a big part of the problem with people and the world, is that we're always worried about the past, or we're worried about the future. You cannot change the past. It's impossible. It's done. It's already gone.
Yeah,
so
but it's about
take
changing
the lessons,
the perception of it.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. And
exactly.
reframing your story as well.
Yeah,
rather than I who was abused, I who was traumatized, I who was whatever.
The victim
absolutely,
mode.
Absolutely. Look at it as, what has that given me? It's given me resilience. It's given me skills to help other people. It's given me that understanding, that knowledge.
Yes. It's enhanced who I am as a human being. It's helped me grow. Yes. As painful as it might have been, it still got you to where you are today. And be proud of you, who you have become because of those things. Yes. Absolutely. So How do you define true holistic wellness beyond the green smoothies, the yoga poses, all of those things?
I don't buy into green smoothies anymore. I used to do the green smoothies religiously every day. And then I went on to celery juice for years. And I've come out the other side now because I've since learned about oxalates in the food, which are the plant's own natural defense mechanisms, and oxalates cause us a massive amount of health problems. So I no longer do any of the greens because of that.
Wow.
So yes, absolutely radical transformation. It's like when you know better, you do better, right?
Yeah,
so,
for sure.
But until you get to that stage, you're just going to keep on doing what you think is the right thing to, because it's either advertised or because you think you feel good. But when you've got that extra knowledge, then you can move on in a different way. So holistic health for me comes back down to my 4 pillars of health. Are you looking after yourself physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually? And when I say spiritually, it doesn't have to be woo and it doesn't have to be religion. For me, it's about coming back inside and listening to that little voice that is within all of us, because the majority of us have detached ourselves from it. So when we can come back and listen to that, it's there for us and it will guide us.
That ties into all the conditioning bullshit that we have been taught to believe. We are all intuitive beings. We all have it within us. And it's just a matter of rediscovering that or remembering that, because it's been so tamped down and pushed down within us that we forget it's even there. And we don't trust it. We don't lean into it. When that is your North Star. It's... And
because it speaks so quietly as well, and we've become so disconnected that our ego shouts at us. That's the voice we tend to listen to. But actually we need to shush that and come back to this little voice.
Well, not to mention all the noise and shit we get thrown at us on a daily basis, sound bites and video clips and all these distractions. It takes us away from leaning in and trusting this.
Absolutely.
What would you say is the biggest lie that we've all been sold about what health actually is? And what's the truth you live by instead?
I think the biggest lie is that we need doctors and pills. Because as you alluded to earlier, it's not healthcare, it's sick care. It's keeping us sick. And those diagnoses, as I said earlier, are those programs within us that then run our lives on autopilot. So I think that's the biggest lie, that we actually need that. And the real truth is our body does heal itself. I mean, you only have to look when you get a cut or a bruise. You don't run to the doctor or the hospital with that. Without a doubt, that you don't have to do anything. Your body will heal it. So if you can see your body healing those, why can it not heal anything else?
Very true. Wise words. I absolutely love this conversation, Sarah. It is so powerful and informative and educational. So thank you for sharing your insights and wisdom. How do you differentiate then between treating symptoms and actually healing the soul?
Symptoms are messages from your soul. So if we listen to the symptoms and we don't treat the symptoms, we treat the underlying cause of the symptoms. What is that symptom trying to say to you? For instance, like shoulder pain, neck pain can be the weight of the world on your shoulders. You're carrying the weight of the world. And yet we'll just pop a pill and quieten that symptom. But we won't do anything about carrying the weight of the world. We'll continue carrying it on our shoulders, rather than understanding that actually we're carrying such a load. The majority of it isn't even ours to carry. And if we can offload that weight, we will relieve the pain without the pills. And it's coming from our souls. When we heal the root cause of those symptoms, we're listening to our soul and helping it repair and heal.
Not to mention, you say we take a pill to quiet the noise, the messages, the pain.
Yeah.
Then, okay, so it stays quiet for a while, but it's going to come back because the pill, its magic is going to wear off. Yeah. And then, okay, I got to take another one. I got to take another one. I got to take another one. And you're putting Band-Aids over bullet holes. You're not, as you said, you're not getting to the root cause. And that, I think, is a huge part of Western medicine. They don't get to the root cause. It's just treating the symptoms. That's all they do.
Yes.
Because then guess what? You're going to keep coming back and we've got you hooked in. Here's some more pills. Here's some more pills. Here's some more pills. And just keep you sick. That's exactly what it is.
Yeah. Sick care, not health care.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. What is one truth about healing that you wish every woman on this planet knew?
That it's possible for you. It's possible for me. It's possible for all these people in my book. It's possible for all the people on my podcast. Why would you be any different? Healing is possible. But first and foremost, you have to absolutely, beyond a shadow of a doubt, believe that you can heal.
Yeah.
Because some of us believe that we're extra special and we've tried all this stuff and nothing works for us. Because we've built a wall around us that is frightened to heal. Because we've got people out there who help us, we've got support networks. And like I had an existential crisis about who I was, if we heal, who do we become? Who are we if we're not sick?
Yeah.
And that is too frightening for some people to get to step into that.
Because they are stuck in this victim mode. And who am I if I'm not a victim? Then who am I?
Yeah.
It's
And I've been there. I understand it. When that whole depression episode there was a lot of victim mode in that. And I sat in that for 3 long years because I didn't realize there was coaches and healed myself. But yeah, you have to sit in that victim mentality and feel into it and feel sorry for yourself. We're not dismissing you. We are hearing you. We are seeing you. We are feeling you. But we have to remember not to live there. Then to step out of that and say, okay, so what can I learn from this? How can I help myself from this? What can I do from this? And step into that. And it takes courage to do that.
It does, for sure.
And when I was stepping into my healing, out of that depression, my comfort zone was like the size of a penny or smaller. And I didn't want to do anything because I'd been in this big black hole for so long. But the thing is, the more you do it, even though your voice trembles when you speak and your legs shake when you walk, the more you do it, the more courage and confidence you build, the bigger your comfort zone gets. And if you keep doing it, you just grow it and grow it. So what I can do, you can do.
Love it. What is one overlooked piece of the healing puzzle that most people don't even realize that they're missing?
Healing our past. We have to heal our past because it spills out from us in triggers, in emotional reactions. Even if we think we've healed it or we think we've forgotten about it, it's still there within us, in that child within us that's holding on to it. So healing, we have to look back into our past, accept what's happened, either reframe it or do some healing work around it. And once we've done that, it massively shifts our healing, stepping forward.
Beautiful. In your work, how often do emotional wounds, and we briefly touched on this, show up as physical symptoms? And what are the patterns that you most often see?
All the time. All the time.
Plain and simple.
99.99999% of issues come from an emotional issue. And when I'm talking with clients, I'm asking for them to explain what went on and who was there and how did they feel. They realize that's what's holding them. And that's what's causing their physical symptoms, whether it's an emotional physical symptom, as in can't stop crying all the time, whether it's a physical symptom of I just don't understand myself and I'm having arguments with my wife and I'm not getting on well with other people, whether it's a physical symptom of chronic pain, chronic fatigue. They've all got emotional underpinnings. And that's why I say healing our past is the biggest key to healing our mind, our body, our symptoms.
Beautiful. What would you say are some of the most powerful spiritual practices that support lasting holistic health, not just momentary relief?
Coming back into yourself, listening to that little voice within you, whatever name you want to give it, intuition, God, source, whatever.
Yeah.
Come back in and listen to that. Just take some moments. You don't have to sit for an hour or 2 hours in prayer pose and meditate. You can just, over a cup of coffee, sit on the sofa, just in quiet and have 2 minutes or 5 minutes or 10 minutes and just come back into yourself.
But I don't have time, Sarah.
I know.
I'm so busy.
I know. But 2 minutes.
What do you say to that? Because I'm sure you hear it.
Yeah. Do you have 2 minutes to look after yourself? to be well, or do you have forever to be dead?
Or sick, or both.
Self-care is so important, and people don't realize that actually taking that time out for themselves refreshes their mind, refreshes their body, and makes them more productive overall.
Yeah.
When we let go, we become less productive. So by taking that time out, we actually improve our productivity. We improve our mental health and mental capacity.
We are human beings, not human doings.
Exactly.
And again, this ties back to the conditioning that self-care, we've been taught and conditioned to believe that self-care is selfish. Yeah. Putting yourself, how dare you put yourself first, above your family, above your children, above your spouse, you should be doing that, because when you do that, you then have a full cup to give to those around you and those who you love, who you want to give to, who you want to support. Someone, and I just wrote a post about this morning, someone shared with me an analogy about a cup and a saucer. I said, you pour the tea in the cup, and that's for you. The overflow that goes into the saucer, that's what you give to others.
Yes, always give from overflow, because if you don't, if you keep taking from the cup that you're drinking from, you'll burn out.
Yes, exactly. How do you help clients get to the root cause then? So we're talking about root causes and this treating of symptoms and all of these things. So how do you help people do that?
As I mentioned earlier, just compassionate conversations, and through helping them to understand the impacts of specific times in their lives, what happened, how they held it, how they feel it now, what their perceptions were, helps them to see what the emotion was, what the trauma was, what the incident was, who the person was, and how they're holding it now, and then relate that to whatever symptoms they've got coming up and where it's showing up in the body as well. So it brings the two together, the symptom to the past event, to help them to understand that's going on. Even if sometimes they'll just be thinking about something, about maybe a challenging situation or a conversation that they need to have, and they can develop pain. It's about recognizing the pain is a symptom from the challenging situation. And if they can flip their perception about the situation, make it feel less challenging, the pain just goes away.
But 99.99999% of the time, it ties back to something in the past.
It does. Yeah.
Wow. Unbelievable. What does your non-negotiable holistic routine look like for you personally? Body, mind, soul, and spirit.
I get up in the morning, walk into the bathroom, do some mirror work, because we're still in theta state first thing in the morning when we wake up. For 20 minutes, we're in theta state. Yeah. So let's look in the mirror. And I believe looking through the left eye, looking at your left eye in the mirror, talks directly to your soul.
Okay.
Some positive affirmations, things that you will accept. Because saying I'm rich, I'm great, I'm beautiful, and not feeling it, your subconscious mind will call bullshit.
Yes, very true.
So do say things that you absolutely, I'm learning to do this. I'm here, things that are like on a continuum. But also like, I'm smart, I'm clever.
I am statements.
I am statements, yes, massive. And then I make it's summer now, so I can't make a cup of green tea because it's getting hot quickly. So I have a glass of water and take the dog out for a walk first thing in the morning before the heat builds up. And I live in the mountains surrounded by green space. So we go for a half an hour, 40-minute walk around. So I'm in the solitude of nature. And I then come back and have a cup of green tea and just sit and just be with that green tea. And in the winter, it's reversed. I do the mirror work and then I have a cup of green tea and then I take the dog out because it's warming up a little bit then.
Yeah.
And that's how I start every morning off.
Love it. What is one message that you would like to share with everybody listening, all the women listening, about their health, their body, and their power to heal?
You are very important. You are very powerful. You are beautiful. You are perfect just as you are. The beliefs that you've got that counteract all of that are just other people's opinions. Please let go of those opinions and come back into yourself. You are who you are, and you can only heal through love. And yet so many of us hate different aspects of ourselves, and that hate fuels dis-ease. So if you can come to a point where you can love yourself for who you are, That's not saying you have to stay like that. You can always make positive changes going forwards, but you have to come to a place in your life at some point to love yourself for who you are, the good, the bad, and the ugly. And from there, you can make small tweaks and changes to move yourself forward to be who you want to become. Because we're in this transitory stage. We've been who we were. We are who we are now, but we're also who we are becoming. So we have to look at it like that, those different stages, and come back into ourselves and just feel love for everything we've been through, all the resilience that we've built, the skills and knowledge that we've gained from what we've been through, and just sit with that and feel the power of what we've overcome. We often look back and go, oh, if only I didn't do that, say that, be that, whatever. But, oh, that happened and I did this, or I overcame that and built this strength. We've got so much that we can be positive for, that we can celebrate. So look for all the good things in your life. And the more you look for the good and focus on the good, the more life will give you good things to focus on.
Yes, what we focus on expands. And we don't take the time to celebrate our wins, no matter how big or small they are, because again, it's about the busy culture. It's about, we've got to keep going. Okay, I finished this. Take the time and slow down and celebrate what you just did. Yeah. Don't worry about the next thing. The next thing will be there waiting. Don't worry. It's not going anywhere. So take the time to slow down. Again, slow down, get outside, get into nature, just be with yourself and just be in the moment, be in the present moment.
I turn the television off, stop scrolling.
Yeah, there you go. Yes, exactly. Yes, exactly. Now, as mentioned, Sarah, at the top of the interview, you're also an author. Can you tell us about all the things with the books, what the title, subject matter, when it was released, the inspiration, all of those things?
Thank you. I wrote my book, Heal Yourself, as I was coming out of that deep, dark depression, because everything that I'd been through and all the healing that I'd done, for me, it was a revelation. It was mind-blowing. So I wanted to help people who were in the same boat as me, who didn't know how powerful beings we are. So I started writing all my own healing journey and got to 10,000 words. And then this little voice went, who the hell are you? You're not an author. Who do you think you are? And that was part of my healing as well. So I put my book away for 5 years on my computer because I couldn't answer those questions. And then one day I just woke up. I've got to finish this book and it's got to be lots of other people. So I reached out on the internet. Does anybody want to share their healing? They've healed naturally, to show people that we can do this. 74 people came back healing ALS, multiple sclerosis, a whole range of autoimmune, cancer, Lyme, stroke, allergies, asthma, a massive amounts of different health problems, all naturally without pharmaceuticals. And they all wrote their story to share with other people alongside my healing, to show people that it's not just the things I've healed, but all these other things can be healed too. And they share how they did it. So Heal Yourself was born in English and published in 3 years ago.
Wow.
And the village I live in here in Spain is very multicultural. So I've had it translated into Dutch, German, and French.
Amazing.
And thank you. They're all on Amazon, and the English version is available in Barnes and Noble as well. And then what was the second part of that question?
Just the inspiration behind all of it.
It's just to help people like myself who don't know any of this, are solely wearing the lenses that say there's only doctors and pills and hospitals. No, there's all of these as well. And then I went on and set up my podcast to continue sharing that message. And I've had a whole slew of other people sharing their own healing from a whole more of the same and more different things. And everybody's done something a bit different.
Yeah.
I've got 4 people who've healed cancer, have all done different things. I've got 2 people healed ALS and they've done different things.
That is phenomenal.
Just to share with people that healing happens and there's no one, you need some this and this. Here these people are doing all these different things and they're all healing, but they all do have the same belief that they can heal themselves. And that was their starting point. And
that's it. That's the most important piece, is the belief.
If we can all heal, so can you.
Love it. So you mentioned the podcast. Can you tell us about the podcast? What's the name of the podcast? It's obviously interview style. Do you do solo episodes as well?
Thank you. So I started my podcast 2.5 years ago because my gifted friend who told me to write this book also told me to start a podcast. So it's also called Heal Yourself, but it's got the added with Sarah Dawkins to help people to see that we can heal ourselves. And I started out doing alternate weeks, a guest, and then just me as a solo. Because I had a massive camera anxiety when I first started, it was me behind a closed camera, just to audio. And then I started doing me to camera because people wanted to see who I was. But now I've had so many people come forward wanting to be on my show that I'm now doing a podcast a week and have done all through June, through July. I've got enough to get me through September, and I'm now scheduling into October because there's so many people. I haven't advertised since last year. People just keep finding me and want to share. So I've just interviewed Sally K. Norton, who wrote Toxic Superfoods, which is all about oxalates that I was talking about earlier. And I've reached out to a few more different people, high up, well-known people, to see if they will come and share their healing as well through my podcast. So that just to help get my podcast out to a wider audience, to help more people to see. And this last month, I won a wellness podcaster in a Women in Podcasting competition 2025.
Awesome. Congratulations. Now, do you only bring on guests who have healed themselves?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, because that's I get people saying, I've got this book, I've got this program, I've developed this thing. I'm like, no, I want to show people who've healed themselves.
Yeah. Healing stories.
Yes. So it's people sharing what they've healed and how they've healed it.
Yeah.
I have had thoughts around doing things about other different types of healing, but at the minute, I want to stay centered around people who are healing.
Yeah. Okay. What would you say, Sarah, is one of the most important things you've learned in your life? And what was your life like before you learned it? And what was your life like after you learned it?
I think I've learned that I'm far more capable than I was ever led to believe. The teachers probably were right at school when they used to write Sarah could do better on my report card. I've learned that I've got a lot more confidence. I've got a lot more ability and stamina and resilience than I ever thought I had.
What is an unexpected blessing or occurrence in your life that you're grateful for?
I'm truly grateful that I went through that deep, dark 3 years of suicidal depression. Because that was my body telling me that I'm not aligned, I'm on the wrong path. And that took me into entrepreneurship and then into coaching. Although it was hell to go through, I am deeply grateful for the lessons I've learned in understanding the reasons why I went through that, which has helped me to become who I am, to be able to help others too.
Yeah, see, and that's the thing, right? A lot of people play and take on, as you said, you did too, take on that victim of, why is this happening to me? Why is this happening to me? I don't deserve, what did I do? Blah, 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 blah. It's not happening to you. It's happening for you because there's a lesson in there. And that's the hard part, right? Just for a lot of people, I've struggled with this and I do struggle with this at times. It's like when something's happening and it feels shitty, there is always, I don't care what it is you're going through, no matter how bad it may seem, there is always a lesson in there, a silver lining in there for you to extract from that situation, to take forward, to move on and to heal and to get past it and to become that different version or that better version, Sarah 2.0 or Brad 2.0, whatever it is, to move forward. But it's hard to step outside and look into the situation and see it that way when it's happening. Because, I mean, really, sometimes what could seem like the absolute worst possible thing happening to you is the best possible thing that could be happening for you, not to you, for you.
And there's the blessing. Yeah, there was lessons in that deep, dark depression, but there was also a blessing because it put me onto the right path.
There you go. You are now living an aligned life. You are happy, you're healthier, you feel better. And the most important piece is you're helping people.
Yes.
Because that's what we're all here for, is to be in and of service to one another.
Absolutely, yes.
Love it. What do you think your unique skill set or superpower is that's helped you become successful?
I think having the medical background and my own suffering has helped me to understand other people's suffering. and nuances within that. So that is my own superpower, the dual suffering myself and the knowledge I've gained from my past role as a nurse, which has sprung me into coaching.
Now, speaking of success, what does that word mean to you? How do you define the word success?
For me, success is just helping one person to help themselves and see them healing themselves, and to come out the other end that their symptoms have gone, they understood what the message was from their body, and they're moving on with their life and enjoying life, living it their happiest life with joy and fulfillment. Just having impacted one person is success to me. But obviously I've impacted more, but just one person, that's all it takes.
That's right. That's what it starts with. I love it. What does the word empowerment mean to you?
It means supporting. So when I'm empowering others, I'm supporting them to find their own power within themselves, to understand their resilience, their courage, to see what that looks like, to help them to step into who they are becoming.
Love that. Okay, we're going to jump into a little rapid fire section. So the next grouping of questions just be 1, 2, 3 word answer type thing, okay? How would you describe yourself in one word?
Quirky.
What is your favorite self-care practice?
Siesta.
If you could teach the world one thing, what would it be?
Love.
What is one thing you want but cannot buy with money?
Peace.
If you could be remembered for one thing, what would that be?
Healing.
What is one thing you love about yourself that is not related to your physical appearance?
My uniqueness.
What's one word that defines the woman that you are becoming?
Myself.
That concludes our rapid fire section. Now back to our regularly scheduled program. I created a bonus question that I did not send you ahead of time. If you could take one feeling or one belief and bottle it up and give it to people, what would it be?
Love.
If you could step into my shoes, what question would you have asked yourself that I didn't ask you?
I don't think I could find a question, Brad. You've been very thorough in your interview. We've talked about everything that is really important to me and in the work I do.
Thank you. I received that. If you had the opportunity to sit down and have a 1-hour conversation with one woman, any woman in the world, who would it be and why?
Florence Nightingale.
Okay. And why Florence?
To understand more the kind of person she was, because she went into service, help others, to help them to be healthier and happier through cleanliness, cleaning the surgical implements, and to promote wellness and well-being. So I'd love to pick her brain.
Yeah. If you could go back and give your younger self one piece of advice, what would that piece of advice be?
Let go of other people's opinions of you, because they are just that. They are opinions. You are a very strong and resilient and confident person, and don't let anybody put you down.
Love it. Lastly, if you were to deliver your last 30-second speech to the world, your tribe, your people, your corner of the world, what would that last 30 seconds sound like? What words of wisdom would you impart?
I would say, please know that you can help yourself. You can heal yourself. Your body heals itself all the time. You just don't see it in the main unless you cut or bruise yourself, and then you can witness it in real time. But understand that your lifestyle, your thoughts, your behaviors, your food intake, what you do, all impacts your health. So if you can support your health on a mental, a physical, emotional, and spiritual plane, your healing will be more rapid, will be easier when you support it. But know that even if you don't support it, it's going on all the time. You just can't see it. Your body is always healing every single day. And when we support it, it's a lot more efficient. I've healed, other people have healed. If you don't believe that you can heal, please look outside, do some research on the internet, look for your symptoms and look for who's healed this, that, the other diagnoses. It's out there. And that was how I started my journey, was looking at what other people had healed and how they'd healed, to understand that actually if it's possible for them, it's possible for me. And if it's possible for me, it's possible for you too.
Beautiful way to end the interview. Sarah, thank you so much for taking and making the time to be here with me today, for sharing about the beautiful light you put out into the world through the incredible work that you're doing to help educate people around the power of healing and that they can heal themselves. Thank you for your time. It has been an absolute pleasure. I have thoroughly enjoyed every minute of our conversation. You are a beautiful, bright light who I am so grateful to know, to call a friend, to have as a member of the Empowerography community. Thank you so much.
Thank you. You too, Brad. I appreciate you.
Once again, my name is Brad Welsh, host of your Empowerography podcast. Today, my guest has been Sarah Dawkins. She is a holistic health and healing coach, a keynote speaker, an author, and a podcast host. Thank you so much, Sarah. I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day.
Thanks. You too.
Thank you very much for listening to this podcast. If you haven't yet, please be sure to subscribe, rate, review, and share with all your friends. You can find me at visuphoria.ca. Follow me on Instagram at Empowerography Podcast and on Facebook at Empowerography. Please join me next time for another inspirational story from yet another amazing woman.